And
haven't eaten it, just ruined my appetite.
I know, right? Blah, blah. You're sitting behind the bread aisle. Couple of quick pop, pop, boom. He's done. Neutralized. Done. Gone. It's over.
Right. So
pretty simple.
It's the great equalizer. But if you're in that FedEx building, which I don't know if they allow firearms, or we'd have to check on that.
I'm sure they've got armed guards.
I'm sure they might. I mean,
I'm sure they've got armed. It's federal stuff.
But here's the thing, though. You can't count on that. Especially, you just said you were. Did you work security before?
Yeah.
So at that age, when you were younger, if you had a chance to get the heck out of there and go protect somebody, at that age, what would you do? Or do you know?
You want me to tell you a couple of cool stories?
Sure.
So I worked at Cragen, the distribution center. They sent me all over. Most of my posts were at Dodge dealers in the Bay Area. I also did a school that was being built in the Bay Area in Oakland. I was 17 years old, so this is before guard cards. We didn't have guard cards back then. Again, showing how old I am. Jesus. Over 20 years ago. Gosh, I feel old.
I remember those days.
Jeez. All right. So, yes, this is way before September 11th. So I was bike patrol, and a friend of mine would take me out there in his truck. 'Cause I didn't drive yet. I didn't have a car, so they would drive me out to Concord or Oakland or wherever, and we'd have cars disappear. One night, I come up to one of the vehicles and I see shavings on the top of the door, and I look in the lockbox. Maybe they all had lock boxes on the windows. Lockbox had been drilled, and the keys were still in it. So I got on my radio. Actually, it wasn't even that kind of radio. It was a radio.
Yep.
And talked on the radio and called my guy who was at the other end of the yard, the lot, and explained to him what happened. And as I turned around, the truck drove away.
Ugh.
They were there. That means they could have done anything. We would walk our rounds on the lot, and we had a big FedEx box. Back to FedEx. Big FedEx box, and I would just walk all night. It'd take me about 3 or 4 minutes. And I remember one night I walked, and the box was trashed. It was fine the last time I walked by. They had broke it. They had been calculating how long it took me to walk. So what I ended up having to do is I ended up buying one of those big one-piece like tactical suits with the pockets and the whole thing. And I found a way to get myself onto the roof, and I would literally watch the Dodge dealership in Concord from the roof. I was 17 years old, and I would watch everything, and I would report everything. And, never did I come encounters with anybody that did anything, but I've always been the type of person that was there. I mean, even when the murderer guy, the guy who killed those people, and I came across him, I told him that I was going to kill him. And neutralize that situation. I didn't have to shoot him. But the point is that, like in our building downtown, they keep firing the security guy, but I'm better security than all the security guys. They come to me every time there's a problem.
One of the points, so not all people will be like that.
I know not all people are like that.
So people, we can't
That's
really
why
count
I'm
on
an biker, right?
We can't count on that security guard to protect us. Is my point. So even if there was a gun there, he could just run and say, "Hey, the heck with you guys, I'm out of here."
What I have found about
the $10 an hour ain't worth it. I'm out of here. You don't know.
But what I'm finding actually is that a lot of these security guys, Paladin, so there's a couple of these other ones. These guys are getting paid more than law enforcement are. But a lot of these guys didn't test in to become law enforcement, or the departments aren't hiring because of funding issues and so forth, so they get hired by a private protection company. And they're still law enforcement in a sense. There are great security companies that these companies can go and hire that will protect these citizens.
Well, I won't mention the name of the company, but we do a lot of Taekwondo, as you know, and it's over in Carmichael. And he's in the place with the Lido Cafe. So we were doing something the other weekend. I can't remember why we were there on a weekend on that particular moment, but we had a guy come through, and he was 5150, as we call it. He was throwing things around.
That's right. We talked about this. Yes.
But the lady who is the person who was at Lido's at the point called their security person, and he didn't ever show up. We were there for 2 hours after she called. He never came. So this is what I mean. It's like, so who had to neutralize the situation at the time was myself and the owner of the school there. We were kind of watching, making sure that he wasn't going to do anything. But that security guard didn't even come. He was called, told, "Hey, there's a possibly violent person." I heard her on the phone, and he never showed.
The other day,
people do avoid. People in that job, they may say, "Hey, you know what? They pay me X amount of dollars an hour, not worth my life. Sorry, couldn't make it.
We watched the other day. We were driving, and this guy. I shot a video on it, but this guy's driving, and every time he slows down, he just uses the e-brake because he had no regular brakes. So the car's just sliding all over the place.
That, yeah.
So I called 911, and they sent cops out. They were like on this guy. He takes off like a bat out of hell, pulls into a parking lot, jumps out of the car, and starts charging the cop. And I'm like, dude, this is what you see on TV. Like, bro, just chill.
Yep.
He almost gets shot. They had their guns drawn. He turns around, runs back to his car, jumps in his car, jams, and crosses county lines, and they lose him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they ever ended up catching the guy.
They'll get him eventually. You can't on the radio.
Yeah, but the point is that people don't. Mental illness is a tough thing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So
that fight thing though? Let's go back to that a little bit. So what I'm trying to get to is that if we have a gun, that's great. We do want to use that if we have it with us. But when you're in a place like a FedEx or like an office or even a church, look for things around you if you do have to fight, right? We probably don't want to go charging a guy like this that has a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you see some of these metal pieces that we have here.
Exactly, yeah.
You got staplers, you got fire extinguishers, you throw hot coffee on someone. When you get to that point where you made the decision, well, hey, you're here, you're in front of me, I've got to fight, I have nowhere to hide anymore, I have nowhere to run. Use everything you got. I'll pick this thing off there, and I'll smack you over the head with that if I don't have something. So remember with yourself that when you are in that situation like that, I do encourage if you can carry, do so. If you're legally allowed in that building to carry, I work with a lot of state workers as a financial planner. State buildings don't allow firearms. You cannot walk into a state building.
Yeah.
So you better have things on your desk. Hit someone with a computer. I got a laptop. Smack them with a laptop. Mm-hmm. Use anything as a weapon. Because here's the thing: if I've got you and I've got 5 other people in an office, and I've got one shooter, and we're all throwing stuff at him, and we're all kicking, screaming, throwing chairs, doing everything else, you're going to be able to subdue that person eventually.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to reload getting smacked in the face.
Well, yeah. The other piece of it though is if you're throwing chairs at somebody else is coming up behind him and then choking homie out, taking his gun and.
Right, and like I was just saying, it's very, very. You have to reload eventually. It's very hard to load when you're getting pelted in the face with a stapler, or 3.
I was just thinking to myself, like, I take the guy's gun, shoot him in the kneecaps, like in the movies.
That'll be fun for the few minutes until they take you to jail because it went into somebody else that bounced off his kneecap.
Yeah.
Things don't work like they work in the movies. I know you like the movies and you've been in the movies and stuff. So you can be the movie side and I'll say, okay,
you know what? I'm going to use a pencil. John Wick did.
Yep. What was that other guy? Oh gosh, he was a. Oh gosh, it was a great movie. There was actually 2 of them, and I can't even remember the actor.
Equalizer.
I think it was Equalizer, where he would
the power drill.
He would envision every single thing he was going to use. He calculated.
Was that the Denzel Washington?
Yeah. Denzel Washington.
Yeah, inside the hardware store and
the
power drill.
That one, the first inside the bar. Remember, he walked in when these people had done it, and he calculated, I'm going to get you with a shot glass, you with a pencil, you with this over here. And then he acted them all out. So kind of cool stuff. But it does prove to you anything can be a weapon. I mean,
yeah, assault pencils.
There you go. They'll be outlawing them soon because of this video.
Oh my God.
They're probably going to get rid of those mechanical ones you buy because that would be like high capacity. No one needs that, right? No one needs that. That's way overboard. So they'll be gone soon, and you heard it here first, right?
Oh my God, that's so stupid. The mechanical pencils.
Yep. Pretty soon. Pretty soon we won't see those anymore. Nobody needs those.
Oh my God. All right. So back to seriousness. Let's wrap up. Sheepdog defensive training. What can you do for the audience that's watching that got to the 31-minute mark? Congratulations.
Nice.
You made it this far. I want to thank you. But what can you offer these folks?
So for the mass shooters, churches in the area, businesses in the area, if you have a lot of employees, if you have places that can be infiltrated, we know this is happening. We're going to come in, bring your employees in, bring you in. We're going to teach how to counter these mass shooter threats, how to protect yourself, how to still be alive when they happen. Mm-hmm. We may not all have firearms, so again, I stress, I think anybody who can be armed should be, but we're gonna
The
give you.
government's trying to prevent that. Though.
They're trying,
So,
but we're gonna give you a bunch of tools that's gonna make it a lot easier for you to survive a mass shooter event. We go through in very great detail. We went through. I mean, we only have 31 minutes here, so we don't have forever. This is a 5 to 6 hour program that we
Correct.
go through. We end up sitting there and saying, hey, here's for your specific area. We're gonna go in there and assess and say, hey, here's where people can gain entry. Here's some places you should be hiding. We're gonna give examples. We're gonna give examples of things that they have on their premises that can be used to defend themselves if need be. So it's a very involved program. It's one that we're pretty proud of to kind of add to our repertoire. I mean, we've been doing CCW, we've been doing women's self-defense, we've been doing basic pistol. This is a little bit outside of that because it may or may not involve a person who has a firearm to defend themselves. So we're going to get in there. We're going to show you how am I going to survive this event if it happens. These are happening more and more. The chances that you're going to be involved in one of these, especially if you're in a big business or especially if you go to church, the chances are becoming greater. So you need to defend yourself. You need to learn how to get out of situations. Mostly learn how to protect your family. So that's what we can do for you. We're happy to do it, and we're just contact us and we'll set these things up for private parties. So we don't really put those off like a traditional class. Like, hey, join this class. We'll offer that to a business where they can say, hey, you know what? I've got 50, 20, whatever amount of employees. Can you come in here and teach them this?
what's your website?
It's sheepdogdefensivetraining.net.
Okay, and phone number.
916-548-5326. That'll get you right to me. You can actually email us as well at sheepdogdefensivetraining@gmail.com.
Perfect. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button as we continue to do these. If you haven't already, we've got, I don't know, we've done like 5 or 6 different sheepdog things now.
Yep.
But yeah, you can watch the different stuff. We've even gone as far as when I was taking my classes, shot all of that. You can actually see what the classes look like because
absolutely.
everything's there. So hey, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.